right, welcome to the Ravit show. We are here at Data and Analytics Gartner in London. I'm with one and only Robin Sutara, Field CTO, Databricks. I'm here to obviously discuss a lot of topics with Robin. She also has a talk just in an hour. So I've just, brought her here to discuss more about data and analytics, AI, and much more. So looking forward to it. Robin, welcome to the Ravit show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Why not for our audience start with your introduction in what you've been doing at Databricks?
Yeah, so Robin Sutara, I'm currently a field CTO at Databricks, as you mentioned. I have a great job. I get to travel the whole world and sort of speak with customers as they're thinking about how do you actually implement Databricks technology. So if you think about the complexities of people, process, organizational structures, culture, we have an amazing technology, and now how do you actually get that into production so that you can benefit the business? It's just an amazing time, I think, in the data space today to be able to work on those types of issues and conversations.
Yeah, definitely, and it's very interesting. Those points are, and pretty sure your job is super exciting. Also, quick question. I know you are having a talk just after an hour. Can you tell us more about it? Because I know it's around AI, and we all have been hearing since yesterday, since it's day 2, but day 1 is the how many ever folks that I've met, they've been speaking about AI. So would love to learn a little about your talk.
Yeah, so it's super, exactly like you said, like everybody's talking generative AI, everybody's trying to figure out, how is that going to impact my business. I think half the people in this room have said, my CEO said I have to use generative AI. What does that mean? How do I actually do that? What does that translate to? I'm going to be speaking with Dale Williamson, who's the other field CTO for EMEA. It's just the two of us. And we are talking about sort of the impact of generative AI on people, process, culture, and this sort of silent revolution on how can you actually implement in your business without completely disrupting your business. And so how do you do that in a governed, controlled, sort of regulatory way? Because there's lots of concerns on how do you make sure you have time for innovation with AI, and how do you make sure that you're protecting the company assets, the organization, in a way that doesn't expose you to risk.
Yeah, definitely. Those are pretty interesting insights. Also, since we are on this topic, I would love to, also bring up something as we've been, and I'm sure day in and out, you're talking to customers who would be wanting, AI somewhere that they could be using it. They can also kind of get on the innovation track. So how do you kind of, tackle those types of struggles internally as well? Because we hear like 5 things on the same lines around AI, but I'm pretty sure when you go back, there's a lot of internal PR discussions that happen.
Yeah.
So how do you kind of, get on that track to make sure it goes long way for the customers as well?
Yeah, so I mean, if we think about what we heard at the day 1 opening here at Gartner, most of the top issues that organizations are running into aren't technology, right? They're more around people and process, and so I think that's the really interesting part is how do you build into your culture, your data strategy, the impact that generative AI is going to have on those things? How do you build out a communication plan? How do you make sure that your organizational design and the principles and standards, how do you build out a PR strategy internal to your organization? All of that is changing at the rate of sort of innovation of generative AI. And if you look at just what's happened in the last 3 months, I think in this space, it's going to continue to be a space that we see evolve and sort of recreate. And so it's a great opportunity for all of us in the data space to really think about I think we're on the precipice of something brand new that we're going to see really sort of change the world. We were sort of joking, this is the next printing press, right? That's really going to change the way we think about it. And so, building up and capturing that energy of the organization, at the same time making sure that we're creating as much capabilities to protect organizations as possible. I think it's a fabulous time to be involved with data and people, process, culture, and how do you use the great technologies that we have to empower that. I think it's an amazing time.
Yeah, definitely. Those are amazing points that you've been sharing, Robin, and that again brings me to something that we were joking about, which was around this was something exactly that you saw 5 years back, that we saw 5 years back was, data mesh was kind of coined out, and now it's generative AI.
Yes.
So how do you see that comparison?
Interestingly, I feel like data mesh was the evolution of centralized models versus decentralized versus hub and spoke versus, right? And so it was a construct built around ideas that were already known.
Yep.
But if you think about it, generative AI has actually been around for quite a while, right? I mean, just at Databricks, we had more than 500 in production across different customers, right? If you think about operational efficiencies or supply chain, there's some industries that have really latched onto that early on. Now the thing is everyone wants to use it, and so I don't think it's just an organizational design or rethinking that. I think this is really the precipice of how do we unlock sort of this knowledge that we've never had access to in the past, and so.
Very cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see how Databricks kind of, obviously it's already out there. They've been transforming the space and, out there looking after generative AI very closely. So can't wait for that. Another quick question is around the top themes that you've been looking at Gartner in 2023. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so I think the top themes really are sort of, we've all known that the people and process and culture are foundational to the issues 100%. That we have. And so I think that theme has really sort of resonated. I love sort of the concept of the franchise, the data franchise, right? And so again, I think data mesh and sort of that evolution of how do you really think about creating organizational designs that are going to help you support your generative AI journey. And so super exciting that we can really get people-centric and think about how do we help better customer experiences, deliver employee efficiency, how do we create operational capabilities that help the organization do more with less, which is I think something we're all focused on, and working with great partners like AtScale to help customers do that I think is an amazing opportunity.
Okay, these are pretty interesting insights. Thanks for that, Robin. Last question, I'm pretty sure the audience would love to reach out to you and learn more about everything that you're doing at Databricks and what's the future of generative AI and much more. So if they have to reach out to you, what's the best place to get to you?
Yeah, so information obviously on www.databricks.com. If you'd like to reach out to me directly, feel free to ping me on LinkedIn. Always happy to answer questions. If you are young talent up and coming, I just have to do a little plug, I think, for diversity across your data teams. I am not a traditional data scientist. I came up as an Apache helicopter repair into the data space, so probably the least traditional career path. So if you are looking to sort of get into data and you don't have a traditional sort of academic approach and you want to give some feedback, I would love to hear from you and sort of share my journey and encourage everybody to think about how do you apply your arts background, your languages background, your business background, because data is the one place that you can be super successful.
Awesome. This is amazing, Robin. Obviously, you are an inspiration for everyone out there. So
thank you so much,
Ravit. But thank you again for taking the time out and getting on the Ravit show. It was such a pleasure hosting you today.
Thank you so much, Ravit. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.